African National Congress said it would back a vote of no confidence against him in Parliament on Thursday. The 75-year-old has come under increasing pressure to quit following numerous accusations of corruption. But he says the ANC has failed to explain why they're recalling him.
That this process, there's nothing I've done wrong. This is policy. What people are suggesting is a new thing, a new phenomenon. What is the problem? I don't understand. Now, if you think we are going to be agreeing on this one, then I have a problem with your approach and decision, because I don't agree with it. I don't think it is fair. I think it is unfair. It is, I even said to them, I've spent a bit of time in the ANC. At no stage I ever said to the leadership, your decision is not right. It's the first time I feel a decision is not right, and I disagree with it.
Earlier, the ANC said it was giving Zuma until the end of Wednesday to resign on his own, or they take action to remove him from office.
The ANC has decided to recall President Zuma, and the deadline is today. I know you are going to ask me that question. We are now proceeding with, as the Chief Whip, to proceed with the motion of no confidence tomorrow, Parliament. President Zuma is then removed so that we can proceed to elect President Ramaphosa as the President of the Republic. It's very clear that for us as the leadership of the ANC, we can no longer wait beyond today. We don't want to keep South Africa waiting. If President Zuma will at some point respond, he will respond, but we can't continue waiting.
Well, let's go straight to Lindsay Chutel, who's in Johannesburg. Hi, Lindsay. So President Zuma is now under pressure to resign by today or face removal, but he just said he has no reason to stand down. So what will happen next? Will they drag him out of office?
Well, right after President Jacob Zuma had that unscheduled statement with the South African Broadcasting Corporation, we went live to Parliament in Cape Town, where the leaders of the opposition, along with the African National Congress and the Speaker of Parliament, were finalising what happens next. They're finalising that vote of no confidence to be held tomorrow. They've also said that they intend to have it as an open ballot. That open ballot particularly significant because it shows that the African National Congress has come to play ball. They're saying that they will vote him out, and they want him to know exactly who is voting against him. In previous times, the African National Congress has opted, for example, in the last vote of no confidence, they asked for a secret ballot, and they hope that that would sort of help to encourage and stir some ANC members who are against President Jacob Zuma. But now the party has clearly drawn a line that they want him gone, and they've just released a statement also in the last few minutes saying that they acknowledge his statement on the SABC, even though he doesn't seem to be talking to them, and that they are awaiting his latest statement today on whether or not he will resign.
And earlier today, the police raided the home of the wealthy Gupta family. How does this tie in with President Zuma?
So for the last 10 years or so, all the corruption scandals, most of the corruption scandals that President Jacob Zuma has been involved in have included the name of the Guptas. The Guptas are an Indian immigrant family who have become particularly wealthy thanks to their connections to the president, so much so that the president's son, Dutu Zane, is in fact a business partner of the Guptas. And despite numerous investigations by South Africa's constitutional watchdog, the public protector, nobody has ever been able to pursue a case against the Guptas. There's been, despite overwhelming evidence, South Africans finding themselves frustrated because nobody seems to have been able to move against the Guptas. This time, however, for the first time, there seems to be real justice. The police finally have the courage to move against the Gupta family, so much so that we had a very public raid that could also be seen as sending a message to President Jacob Zuma that his time is coming to an end, and they will not only be pursuing his allies, possibly even his son, and maybe even President Jacob Zuma next.
And Lindsay, how are South Africans feeling about this decision by ANC? Are they divided, or would they like to see Ramaphosa in office?
So yesterday we spoke to a few South Africans, and again this morning. So yesterday there was still some division. Well, not for the most part. Many seem to be on the side of Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa, because they feel that Jacob Zuma has come to represent the malaise, both economically and politically, that South Africa has undergone in the last 10 years or so. But others are saying that we should be asking more questions, saying that why is Zuma being pressured like this? They recall during the Mbeki era, they seem to think that he didn't have the same kind of pressure. And it's important to remember that President Jacob Zuma still has many supporters among South Africans, especially those who feel that South Africa's economic policy needs to change far more radically, to be far more populist and pro-poor. Those are people who are definitely sad to see the potential back of President Jacob Zuma. But at the same time, the story is changing so quickly, literally changing by the hour, that South Africans are lurching from one announcement to the other, and there's no clear line yet on where everybody stands. For the most part, as has been for the last 10 days or so, it's been very much a wait and see game.